David, you've been a busy chairman this week. Just talk us through your week.
Yeah, it's been a hectic week since last Tuesday, obviously, when I made the decision as to Gary, and obviously starting the process of recruiting a new manager, which took time. Obviously, Warren's told you about. He was at the game on Friday when they were playing Tottenham away. We had a game on Saturday in Cardiff, so it wasn't ideal. But I met him once. I spoke to Man United and got their permission to speak with Warren. I met him straight away. I liked him. I liked everything he said. We got on very well. The meeting went, I think we spoke for 3-4 hours. And it was I was just fascinated by what he had to say in terms of his football knowledge. He's been around the game a long time, so his knowledge is unbelievable in terms of football and what he's been through. But then I had to quicken the process up because we needed a manager in place for Wigan Athletic, so I got it done. It's always difficult because he was in work at Man United, so you have to deal with Man United, you have to deal with Warren, you have to deal with solicitors, etc. So it took time, but we finally got our man, the only man I wanted, and it was all wrapped up late last night.
Specifically, what sits best for you about Warren Joyce, sort of skills and experience in many ways, does he have that impresses you the most?
Well, straight away, obviously, you look at his links with Man United, and he's been there under Sir Alex for 5, probably 6 years maybe, and then under Van Gaal, under David Moyes, and under recently Mourinho. So straight away, that hits you as he's going to be a very clued up individual to work with those people and work at that club, probably the biggest club in the world for that amount of time. And then you look back to, he's been at Antwerp, he's managed abroad. Not many managers have done that, especially in the Championship. It's probably only a few. And then you look at also his time at Hull City and what he achieved there, and when he was only a young coach at the time, and he achieved something unbelievable. When you see where they are now, and they're in the Premier League, and they were possibly going down if it wasn't for Warren Joyce into the conference. So you track back everything in terms of what he's achieved and what he's been through, and how he is with younger players, and how many players he's developed and brought through, and everything to me was right, because I only like to make a change if you know what you're changing for. There's no point making a change just for the sake of making a change. But when I made this change, it was because I thought Warren Joyce, and I know Warren Joyce is what we're about as a club. Young players, winning, and the two strike a perfect combination. We have to be different now. We're not the club who could pay players X amount a week like Newcastle are doing, Billow doing, Derby doing, Sheffield Wednesday doing. They're throwing money that I'm never going to let this club do, because we have to be sensible, and we don't want to put ourselves in a difficult situation. So Warren is the manager and the coach that is perfect for what we have at a club right now. He's great at developing younger players, putting his time into younger players, coaching those players and making them into winners and to better footballers. But he also relies upon an experience like we've currently got. So it's the perfect blend for Warren at this moment in time, and the football club at this moment in time.
When you talk to Warren, what sort of aims are you setting out for him, perhaps firstly in the short term and then in the long term, given a 3.5-year contract? So there's an obvious belief there in him.
Yeah, and that's everybody looks at it and you think the Championship, what a tough league it is to come into the job, and we're obviously in the bottom 3 at the moment. So Warren's a winner. He's always been a winner. He's had to have high standards at Manchester United and win week in, week out. He's won trophies at reserve team level. So that's drilled into him that he has to win, and obviously we're in a position where we want to get out of the trouble we're in, and I'm sure Warren will achieve that. But we also have to think long term as well. We have to think differently to other football clubs. We have to believe in the youth, like I talked about, and I think Warren, more than anyone, believes in youth, and that's all he's known for the last 8 years or so. And even at Antwerp, that's what he worked with. So it is the perfect time for Warren to come into this football club, and he was, like I said before, the only man I wanted, because he has to fit what we want, and this is what we want.
He'll kick off against Reading on Saturday. Important now for the supporters to get right behind Warren from the off and show him what Wigan Athletic are all about from the stands.
Yeah, and I hope they do get behind him. I'm sure they will. He's very animated, vocal. I mean, I like to keep an eye on all things in football, and I've watched Man United 21s this season. I watched them last season. I even on Monday night, they played Arsenal the following month, a couple of weeks ago now, but I downloaded that game, watched it, and you can see how passionate isn't he on the touchline. So the fans have immediately, I think, were warm to him in terms of how much he wants his team to win, and they'll appreciate that. And I'm sure Warren will appreciate them, because when they believe they have a good manager, they get behind them and they support this football team, and that's what we need at the moment. We need the fans behind us. We're in a difficult place. We've got a great win on Saturday, and I believe we're all together with the fans, myself, Warren Joyce, the players, the staff, the coaches. We'll all get out of this together and we'll be stronger for it.